Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Y'all, 4 weeks ago we planted these hayracks and they have totally transformed. They are stunning. So today I'm going to share with you a little bit of the tips and tricks that we did to make these hayracks here at Creekside Nursery in Dallas, North Carolina, absolutely stunning. So it was 4 weeks ago when we planted up these 8 hayracks at the nursery. So when folks come in, this is one of the first things they see, and they have filled in beautifully and are just such a beautiful welcome sight to our customers. So I just want to share with you, if you want to create beautiful containers, hayracks at your house, this is how we did it. So of course we start with great soil, right? That is the foundation for your container. So we use that Proven Winners potting soil, used a beautiful starter fertilizer, and then of course you put in your Proven Winners continuous release fertilizer. And then we went with an explosion of spring colors. I wanted this to be like the essence of spring in a container. So we went with annuals that love cooler conditions. We did a little bit of a thriller, fillers and spillers in these containers. So you have got the Super Bells Tropical Sunrise. It is such a cherry color that contrasts beautifully with the Violet Night Sweet Alyssum. And y'all, it's called Sweet Alyssum for a reason, because it smells delicious. And then yet another color explosion with the Super Bells Yellow. Super Bells are going to be very cold hardy. They can go into those mid-30s at night, because in the springtime we have fluctuating temperatures. So you need to have those plants that can handle the cool dips and the highs of the spring in the south. And then of course we did the lobularia in there for a pop of blue. And I love the Bright Lights osteospermums from Proven Winners. They are a great spring, very like daisy-like flower. I will say that we've had a little bit of rain and it is a cloudy morning, so the flowers are not completely open this morning, but we went with the Horizon Sunset and then the Bright Lights White in one container. And then we went for a little bit of a thriller with the guara, but I think honestly the guara is getting swallowed up. But you know what? That's all right. It doesn't matter because it's still gorgeous. So we have 2 recipes. We have this one, and then you come over here to the next one, and they're the same type of plants, but the different varieties. So instead of Violet Night, we went with Blushing Princess. Blushing Princess Sweet Alyssum has a white with a very hint of pink in it. It's going to be a little bit more vigorous than your Violet Night, as you can probably see. And then we use the Super Bells Magic Pink Lemonade. This is a great one that will change colors. And then the Super Bells Blue Moon Punch has that purple, so we still have purples and pinks and all of those colors, but they are different. And then with the osteospermums, we did the Bright Lights Purple, which is a nice, deep, rich purple in there. Very kind of complements that Blushing Princess. Then we did the Bright Lights Double Moon Glow. This is always so popular because it is a double bloom, very nice, soft, very spring-like yellow. And then the Nemesia. Y'all, if you're not growing the Aromanth Mulberry Nemesia, here obviously we have it in a container. I have it in the landscape at the house, and it is a magnificent performer that goes through the summer. And then yes, there is some guara back here. Yeah, it was the Carolee Petite Pink. But again, when you plant these, and we planted them for fullness because we want to have a big show here at the garden center, right? We are a garden center. We're here to inspire folks and to give them ideas. So when we planted, we packed them in here. So the more plants that you add to your containers, that's going to require probably a little bit more work on your part, because you're going to have to make sure that you've got plenty of water and food for these guys. We are watering these, well, one, because this is right in front of the shrub lot here at the nursery, we have overhead sprinklers, and so they actually will hit this, and so they get water every day. However, in the heat of the spring, summer, because we've had some high temperatures, they do need a little bit of supplemental water, and that's like every 3 days we'll come in here and just really drench the containers. We have water-soluble fertilized with the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer one time. So one time in here, but that's what happens when you start with that great Proven Winners potting soil. You're using the continuous release fertilizer, and then they're getting consistent water. Then you're going to get this beautiful flower power in here. So it just is a great kind of inspiration, gives people's ideas of how you can use these plants together. And don't be afraid of mixing all different kinds of types of plants together. And don't be afraid to use big, bold colors. Some people may go, well, my gosh, that is an explosion of color. Yes, it sure is, because after winter, we want loads of color right here at the garden center, just to get people so excited about the spring. Now, we're gonna head over to the Signature Garden because, y'all, the roses are in bloom at the Signature Garden, and they are beautiful. So let's head over there and see what is growing, blooming, and thriving in the Proven Winners Signature Garden here at Creekside Nursery. Late last summer, we redesigned and replanted this garden along the creek bank at the Signature Garden. And part of that redesign was the addition of the Proven Winners 2 roses. We've got the Rise Up Amberness and the At Last Rose. And y'all, they are just performing so well. So your Rise Up Amberness is going to be a mini climber in the fact of in that 5 to 6 foot range. So we have the obelisk here in the center, and then we have 2 on either side to show you that one, yes, you can trellis, give support to the Rise Up Amberness, or you can leave it as a freestanding rose, as a shrub, and it will have the strength and the vigor to hold up. Now, I am very particular about my roses. If I am going to have roses in my garden, I want to have the fragrance as well. And Rise Up Amberness, she does not disappoint. You get these beautiful, like really kind of double frilly roses with those got gorgeous rich amber color. It kind of transitions because as you have a new flower, it's really rich, and then as it ages, it will lighten up. But it smells like a rose, that old-fashioned rose fragrance. It is divine. Now, I'm very much transparent here at Creekside Nursery, and I share with you my messes and my successes and what I did and what I did not do. With roses, you are to prune them every late winter going into spring because it rejuvenates them, gives them new growth. Roses bloom on new growth. Life happened and these did not get pruned this winter. But I tell you that as a testament to how strong and beautiful these roses are. So even though the gardener failed at pruning what she was supposed to do, they still are performing and are beautiful. So you've got the Rise Up Amberness, and then we have, this is like the original rose from Proven Winners. And it did rain last night, so they're a little heavy. But the At Last Rose is a classic shrub rose in that 3 to 4 foot range of height and width. Beautiful peach colored blooms that smell delicious. It is again that classic old rose fragrance. You can see how much it's blooming. You can see how many buds are still to come. With your roses, of course, they do benefit greatly from being deadheaded. So I need to come in here and deadhead them. That simply just means that we're going to snip off those old roses, those little buds, making sure not to take away any new buds. But At Last Rose is so disease resistant. It is resistant to your black spot. It has done really well at my house in a container for about 4 years. But having it here at the garden, because we have 3 of the At Last planted on each side of the Rise Up Amberness, and it just brings a beautiful pop of color. to the space, and of course fragrance to the garden, which we love. As far as sun, your roses need the full sun. This stays in the shade till probably about noon, and then the sun sets, so it gets all of the late afternoon sun. So from about noon to what, like 6:37, so it still gets that 6 hours of sun, but just know it doesn't have to be a specific time period. It doesn't have to be from sun up to sundown. As long as you're getting that 6 hours of sun, then your roses will perform. So if you want to recreate this in your garden, we can do it. It is easy. Let's go explore some roses that you might be wanting to add to your garden. So if you want to add roses to your garden, I would highly encourage you to do it. And if you've never grown roses before, then the At Last rose really is a great starter rose because it is so easy, it is so dependable, it is tough as nails, but the blooms, y'all, I'm telling you, is unbelievable. You can absolutely put it in the landscape like we have it at the Signature Garden, or you can do like I did at my house and put it in a large pot. It can stay there for years as long as your pot is large enough. At Last is hardy in zones 5 to 9, and like I said, just gives you those beautiful peachy colored blooms that smell so, so good. This is a great rose to add to your garden, whether you have roses or you've never done roses before. Great one to add. Of course, you know, Mother's Day is coming up, so just as a little helpful hint to you, this would be a great gift to your special mother-in-law, lady in your life that has poured everything into you. This is a great one because every time she sees it, she's going to think about you. So the At Last rose. Now, we do have in the Signature Garden on the curve just past where we were standing, we have a hedge of the Oh So Easy Peasy landscape rose, which is a nice shorter variety. It's not blooming yet in the garden, so this is why I didn't show it to you, but we have some here that are just beginning to show their color. So Oh So Easy Peasy is going to be a nice short rose, right? It's going to be a little bit shorter and wider, continuous blooms, but you can see really deep, rich, intense pink blooms on it. Your Oh So Easy Peasy has beautiful foliage, nice and tough, hardy in zones 4 to 9. So it'll be about 2.5 feet tall, 3.5 feet wide, and just does those continuous blooms on it. So this is a great way. This is like what we did is we planted them as a hedge in the front, and then we put some like azaleas behind it, the Gatsby Glow Bulb hydrangea behind it. So it'll be a nice big pop of color there. So if the hot pink is not for you, then you've got like the Italian Ice. The Italian Ice is going to give you just a whole like range of colors. Whether it is the white, the cream, and the pink, the new blooms will have more yellow on them. And so with that Oh So Easy Italian Ice, there is a reason that they have that name to them, the Oh So Easies, because they really are easy peasy and easy to grow. This one's going to be a little bit smaller and about 1.5 to 2 feet tall and wide. You can use it in the same application that you were going to use your Oh So Easy Peasy. So we've got those. And then we also have, these are the bare root roses that we were selling online earlier. Oh gosh, what was that, late winter? And so we took those bare root roses, the same roses that you got, those folks that ordered them, and we potted them up in 3-gallon containers. So we've started to bring them down, and they are starting to crack some color. So those of you who are local who said, hey, I really want to do the bare root roses, let me know when they are available. They are available. So what we have down here, like that hot pink that Jerry was showing you, that is Stiletto, which is actually going to give us a nice, really deep, classic red rose, right? So Stiletto is going to be great for your cutting, bringing in your house. It does not fade, so you've got that really rich red color, has a lovely, strong fragrance, because again, if you're going to do roses, I want to be able to smell it. And this is going to be a good size in that 5.5 tall. So with your roses, just like any other shrub, you're going to want to give it those 3 years. The first year it sleeps, then it creeps, and then it leaps. So you've got the red, We have got, look at the buds. This is stiletto again, the same red rose, but look at those massive buds on it. It is going to be just a jaw-dropping, gorgeous plant. Then we have Michelangelo's. So that Michelangelo is going to be that classic, beautiful yellow rose, has a sweet lemon fragrance to it. It too is just flushing out and putting out all of that beautiful foliage on it. And Michelangelo is going to be about 5 feet tall, 3 feet wide. So much more upright and column. Then we've got like Sweet Mademoiselle. She is in here as well, which is like a really beautiful kind of a pink color. We're going to come over here. Let's see who is blooming. Somebody is blooming over here. Oh, Raspberry Cupcake, my friends. So we've got Raspberry Cupcake that is blooming right here. She's just starting to push out those colors. So obviously, as its name suggests, is a beautiful pink, extremely fragrant, has great disease resistance to it. Again, all of these are going to be great for cutting, bringing inside. It is going to be 4 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide, has a beautiful, strong raspberry lemon fragrance, and has that beautiful kind of that pink, gorgeous color to it. So just know that these are the ones we have currently sitting down here, but there are more that are up at production that we're going to bring down. And I believe we also have some of the tree form roses. We had 2 colors in that, the purple and I think it was the orange. So we've got 2 tree forms that we're bringing down too as well. So whether you have roses or you want to go into roses, we have done tons of videos talking about how easy it is once you understand what to do with your roses. They really are absolutely very easy shrubs to deal with that are very tough. And as Jerry and I were talking last night, we were having dinner on the patio, and the roses are in full bloom back there. And he was like, I am so glad that you planted roses back here because they're beautiful and they're fragrant. And it is a great way to have in the springtime and just welcome in those warm nights and days here in North Carolina and then in your garden as well. So there are tons of things to be adding to your garden because even on these cool, rainy mornings, this is the time where go visit your local garden center. Get out there and see what they have available. Hydrangeas, storm-proof. Oh my gosh, y'all, do you see all of the buds that are on this hydrangea? They are just about to explode in massive color. The oak leaf hydrangeas, they too are popping out their buds. The perennial hibiscus, look at this beautiful foliage. These babies love the heat, and so they are taking off. The spireas at the house, they're getting ready to explode in their color. So we are all about 4 seasons of interest here at Creekside, and we are here to help you. So if you want a beautiful garden, but you don't know where to start, we would love to help you. So come and see us Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3. If you want help with your garden space, bring pictures. Pictures are very, very helpful so that we can understand exactly the space and then kind of give us the basic measurements. It's 5 feet deep and it's 20 feet long, whatever it may be, so that way we know exactly how many plants to put in there and where to place them. So we would love to see you. If you want some information about roses, I will link some of the videos that we have done on how easy it is to take care of your roses, that little bit of maintenance that you need to do to give you those beautiful flowers that bring fragrance to your life. As always, we so appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day. We will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.